Oh, it's 5:30. Oh my god. But we got a flight to catch, so let's go. Hello everyone. Today we're flying EVA Air's Boeing 777 in their business class cabin to Singapore. Since we were business class, we got our own check-in line, which was priority, and check-in was pretty fast. Then we went to check out the lounge. Security went by pretty fast, and we went to the business class lounge. As you will see soon, this airline is definitely worth its 5-star Skytrax rating. For Royal Laurel passengers, we get the Infinity Lounge to go to, so let's go check it out. Alright, so this is the lounge that we're allowed in. You're flying Royal Laurel or business class. Let's check out the food. At the business class lounge, we get a nice variety of Taiwanese food. Over here is some drinks and finally dessert. They all look very tasty. Quite hard to choose what to take. I eventually settled for some porridge plus corn and an egg. Alright, time to go to our gate. So with business class you get complimentary lounge access, so that's nice for sure. So we were at that lounge earlier. It was pretty good. Food was nice. The seats are comfy. Not sure if you can see this, but our gate is very far away. Yeah, we can only see up to D9, I think. At least I can, so a bit far away. We're gonna have to go through the older gates at Terminal 1. We have entered the older gates. Here is our gate. Oh, we are boarding. So I should probably get down there right now. Older gates. Here is the plane. Alright, touch the plane as always. Great. That's the cockpit. 9. 9K. Alright, first impressions. So, just sat down, and evidently the seat is very big. The reverse herringbone configuration is definitely good for tall passengers, as the footwell is very deep. Next to us is storage and a little tray area. Then we have some headphone storage, I guess. We are moving. And so far I have been served a drink, I chose water, and the flight attendants are very friendly. So far, the service has been exceptional. We first got a refreshing towel and a cup of water. The aircraft we're flying today, a 18-year-old Boeing 777 by EVA Air, is registered as B16706. It's one of the first few 777s that EVA Air got, so it's quite old, 18 years, pretty comfortable as you will see here. The taxi to the runway was quite uneventful. We did see quite a few special livery aircraft and some special ones like an Austrian 767, but we took off rather quickly. As we were taxiing, I couldn't help but look out the window and anticipate the GE90 spool-up sound that I love. Nice takeoff. Now let's climb through the clouds and wait for the meal service. While we wait for the meal, I think it's a perfect time to take a look at the in-flight entertainment system, IFE for short. So I can't find the footage for some reason, so I'll just look at the one from the return flight. Awakening the screen, we are met with a great view of Taipei. This is where you can choose your system language. I chose English, of course, and a moment later I'm met with the main screen. Before we dig deeper, I just wanted to say that this entertainment screen feels much nicer. The screen is leagues better than the one on today's aircraft. This screen that I'm showing right now is also from EVA AIR, just from one of their newer 777s. Yes, the newer ones have a slightly different software. Well, let's get started. Let's take a look at the IFE. Starting from the top right to the bottom left, we first have shopping. This is where you can take a look at their wide selection of duty-free items they sell. Many categories. Yeah, that's really helpful. It really makes things easier to find. Back at the home page, which means it is time to check out the hospitality section. Jumping in, we are met with 3 options: food, wine, and beverages, and explore. Yeah, I really like the system. It really shows us the food selection on this flight, like an e-menu. Back again, but this time it's for the kids section. I really like how EVA AIR thinks about their young passengers. Quite a few kid movies, shows, music, and games here. Before we take a look at the movies, let's take a look at the music. Music on this flight has quite a few albums with more categories to choose from, organizing it very well. I really like the UI, it's built really well. It's extremely careless to navigate around.
Not bad. But yeah, and then interactive map, I will show you that later.
No footage for the TV shows, but past experiences tells me that there's an okay selection. Yeah, pretty good too. There's like the movies, and most of the shows have full seasons, so that's really nice if you're a binge watcher. Alright, back to the home page. But finally, this time it's for the main movie section. The UI is built extremely well, as it is very careless to navigate around. All these sections really make things really easy. I really like how there's like an extensive selection of stuff for us to choose from. Finally, for an AvGeek's favorite, the interactive map. Yes, EVA AIR literally calls it that. Takes a bit of time to load, but yeah, it's not bad. The information for the flight is shown in a blue bar at the bottom. This will bounce between English and Chinese regardless of the system language. Yeah, a bit annoying. The map is pretty interesting, as you can look at your current position and the landmarks around you. Not sure why I didn't get to do this, but the interactive part is that you can switch between modes. Yeah, what a missed opportunity, but yeah, I really do like the interactive map. If you don't really like the IFE, you're still in luck. EVA AIR does have Wi-Fi on board all of their 777s. The Wi-Fi has different levels for you to choose from, but they do have a 30-minute complimentary, but I think it's quite expensive. Let's review the amenities. It's a really big table. First up, we have slippers. And we can use these when we go to the restroom or walk around the plane. Wear these. Really comfy. So let's open these up. So, opening the seal, it's a bit hard. So interesting pattern on the bottom. Looks really comfy. I'm gonna try these on really quick. Ah, nice. Really comfy. A bit small, but they're comfy. So I'm gonna see if I can go to the bathroom now. Let's go check out the lavatory. So we are in the lavatory. A very similar lavatory to normal. Nothing special. But yeah, they want us to close the window, so I think it's a perfect time to check out the headphones. There's here are the headphones. They are packaged in this nice little case. What I want to see is the quality, as this is business class headphones. I've been wearing these for a bit, and yes, they're really comfortable. Fit around your ears, so your inside of your ear doesn't feel something inside. So that's nice. These are pretty heavy though, and one thing I don't like is they don't have noise cancellation. So that's unfortunate. Sound quality is good. They're good. The noise cancellation, the airplane's pretty loud. I first got served some nuts and a cup of Coca-Cola. Pretty tasty. We have been served our appetizer, and our appetizer is fish with vegetables on the side. Looks pretty interesting. I've never seen that before, but like salmon wrapped around something. The utensils we got were all metal, very nice touch, especially in business class. So let's see how tasty it is. Just like the metal utensils that we got, we also got real salt and pepper shakers, unlike the ones in premium economy where they are paper packets. So that was another great touch. Soon after, the flight attendants came around and gave us some bread, which if you've ever flown EVA Air, you'll know the bread is always very good, so I devoured that very quickly. After that, I ate the interesting appetizer, which surprisingly was pretty good. Quite juicy and very flavorful. The main meal has arrived. The meal that I ordered today was a very balanced one. The meal consisted of vegetables on the side, a small but plentiful portion of rice, a piece of beef, and some taro, drenched in a flavor-filled sauce. Once again, this meal was very good and deserves a solid 5 out of 5 stars. Soon after I finished my main meal, I was served chocolate ice cream for dessert, but guess who forgot to record? Well, I kind of forgot, so... Anyways, the chocolate ice cream was pretty good. It was from Haagen-Dazs, but the only thing was, it didn't really feel elevated since business class and premium economy both got Haagen-Dazs ice cream. The only difference was it was a different flavor, but it's still better than nothing. Since I flew business class both ways, I decided to record the seat on the way coming back, and you will see some differences as there's a bit of a color difference, which is just a lighter and a darker color. Anyways, let's get to the elephant in the room, the lie flat bed. So here I have it in the bed configuration, and it is very nice. We first have some pretty nice cushioning, great for long haul flights, and then since the business class cabin is in a 1-to-1 reverse herringbone configuration, the footwell is very deep, perfect for tall passengers. Now, moving back up, we get quite a wide top area, making the area feel quite spacious rather than cramped. Finally, we get a firm but comfortable pillow, which is great touch over the adjustable one fixed to the seat. Anyways, I am testing the lie flat bed right now, and like I said, the footwell is very deep, so that's nice. The padding over here is very comfortable, very soft, and the top area does not feel cramped at all because of the very wide area. This blanket is very soft and has a nice fabric, which I like, and I could see myself staying comfortable in this 5-hour flight to Singapore. Overall, the seat is pretty nice, definitely shows a bit of age, but the controls are very intuitive to use. Overall, the experience was very pleasant. After that, I enjoyed the bed for a little bit and did some work. Well, it looks like we're descending, so I think it's time to talk about my experience on board EVA Air's Royal Laurel. All in all, EVA Air Business Class is a very solid product, and it is definitely worth checking out. The seat was very comfortable, the meal was very good, and the service, it was spectacular. After flying EVA Air, I think you'll understand why they got a 5-star Skytrax rating, and why they're ranked number 7 for the best airline in the world. Yes, they are a 5-star airline, but still, I think there is room for improvement that would make the experience even better than it already is. So, let's review. Starting with the seat, it was big and comfortable, perfect for flights of all lengths. There was a lot of storage space and a nice tray table, great for work. The power outlets works and will come in handy on long-haul flights. The seat controls were intuitive, and overall the seat was great. 5 stars for the seat. Next, we have the amenities. For a 4-hour flight, the offering was decent. While there was no amenity kit due to the short duration, EVA AIR still did include some thoughtful touches. The noise-canceling headphones were of good quality, and the provided slippers were genuinely comfortable. The blanket stood out as well, soft with a cozy fabric that added to the overall comfort. On the downside, the in-flight entertainment system, IFE, felt outdated. The screen showed its age and lacked the brightness and sharpness found on EVA AIR's newer 787 aircraft. It didn't quite match the standards set by the rest of the amenities. Still, the comfort items made a difference, and for an inter-Asia business class product, I'd still give the amenities a solid 3.5 stars. The service on EVA AIR is world class. For a business class cabin, they refer to you by name, personalizing the experience. The crew during the meal service acted efficiently and even laid out the cloth for the tray table. The crew was very attentive and very helpful. 5 stars there. After listening to me yap about EVA AIR, I think you can understand why EVA AIR is ranked number 7 for the best airline. With an average of 4.5 stars in my ratings, EVA AIR is ranked very high. The Royal Laurel, business class on their flagship 777, is an outstanding experience, one that I would highly recommend. For a 4-hour flight, it made me feel that upgrading to business class was worth it. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how much the seat costs, since, as shown before, the experience is world class, and that usually equals an equally high price. Now, for my flight, I used EVA Air miles to upgrade from economy up to business class. Economy up is really just a more expensive economy seat that gives you more perks like having more baggage, allowing you to upgrade, getting 100% or more of the mileage, and a choose your seat. Economy up cost around $724 US. For upgrading, it cost me 18,000 EVA Air miles, but if you were to buy the seat, it would cost around $1,600. Now, this price is from the same days, but a year later, and also, the price isn't always going to stay the same. It really depends on the time of year you're traveling. For upgrading from economy to business, I would say that this is an extremely good deal. 18,000 miles equals to around $800, which means that each mile is worth around 4 cents. After disclosing the price of this flight and how much miles it would have cost to upgrade to business class, the question is, was it actually worth it? Would paying the premium really have made this flight significantly better? I'll let you think about it as we touch down in Singapore. The landing was smooth, props to the pilots, and we then swiftly taxied to our gate. Either because we were at the front of the aircraft, or because business class gets priority, I think it's because of both. We deboarded the aircraft rather quickly. So, yes, the flight is over, but the entire experience isn't over yet. One of the main premiums of business class is priority. Whether it's priority check-in, boarding, or deboarding, a common priority that we often look over is priority baggage. For the final part of this review, I will be checking how fast I am able to get my luggage. Oh, it's so hot. Alright, we're off the plane. One last
let's look at today's aircraft and we're off to immigration.
That was very nice. We are at the
Singapore Changi Airport is quite big, so it took me a while to get from our gate to immigration.
That's for sure.
After immigration, you immediately get to the baggage claim area.
We have baggage claim. We got 42 today, and just waiting for some.
Around 25-ish minutes after we deboarded, I was at the baggage claim holding my luggage. Overall, the deboarding process was fast, smooth, and efficient. If you haven't made a verdict whether business class is worth it, well, you're gonna have to decide fast. EVA AIR, Royal Laurel, or business class is a solid product. With a few minor changes that could upgrade the experience, it is definitely world class. I hope this video has shown you all the perks of flying in EVA AIR's business class. I hope you enjoyed this video, and always stay tuned for my next one. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here, cause look at Singapore. I am really gonna enjoy this. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye!